minds as being divided into three interacting parts: the id, the ego, and the superego, that provide the battleground for this internal conflict that shaped our personalities. You can think of the classic Freudian mind like this iceberg. It's mostly hidden, and that big underwater chunk is your id, your unconscious, primitive, and instinctive self. Freud thought the id was all about sex and aggression, the so-called pleasure principle of immediate gratification. To him, infants were all id. That's in part why babies freak out when they don't get a snack like right now, instead of just taking a deep breath for a second. Kids develop the ego part of their personality, that largely conscious component that's charged with dealing with reality. The ego works on getting the id what it wants in a reasonable, timely, and realistic way without, getting arrested or beaten up. The final aspect to form in Freud's personality trifecta is the superego, the Jiminy Cricket voice of our conscience that represents not just the real but also the ideal. As you can imagine, the superego and the id don't much like each other, and it's up to the referee ego to sort everything out.
We are the suffragettes. Think you know some fierce girls? You ain't heard nothing yet. A lass called Millie Fawcett, founder of our cause, started the battle for our rights. Argued the government should change the laws. Here's how she stated our plight. How come girls can't vote for rules that we have to obey when we work and pay taxes too? Parliament's reaction was,
"Oh, do go away.
How dare they diss the suffrage crew?" Suffragettes sing, we're gonna do this thing. Peaceful protest started in 1903. Got no reaction, needed drastic action. Got a new leader, Emmeline Pankhurst. That's me. Burst into Parliament, shouting votes for women. Actions that were shocking and new. Chained ourselves to palace gates, tension was brimming. Our name now WSBU. Burned down churches, smashed up shops, attacked MPs. The result, we were thrown in jail. This made us more determined, as we'll come to see. Think we give up fighting? Hey, fail!
The term socialism initially described the 19th century political ideology that had at its cornerstone the desire to improve the impoverished lives of the working class. The catalyst for this was the poor living conditions brought on by the Industrial Revolution. Although the wealthy seemed to be getting wealthier, the working class found themselves working in danger and residing in slums. Desiring to improve the lives of the working class, socialism came on the scene. Like the ideologies of liberalism and radicalism, which called for greater political equality, socialism desired to level the playing field of social class.